swing.
Throw it, I say! Throw it!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Ready to Moab.
All right, good evening, wrestling fans. We're coming back to you here with more AWA Wrestling right here live on the Nation Network, coming here from Las Vegas, Nevada, the Showboat Sports Pavilion. It is going to be an incredible night of professional wrestling action, and I can promise you, fans, you won't want to miss it. Some of the greatest names, and let's talk about our feature event tonight. Tag team action is going to feature Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens in tag team action as they take on the original High Flyers of Greg Gagne and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. Sergeant Slaughter is here, Jesse the Body Ventura is here, and we are going to be seeing in action tonight the AWA Heavyweight Champion himself, Rick Martel. All that action and plenty more coming your way right here on this exciting edition of AWA Wrestling here on the Nation Network.
It's not WrestleFest on the arcade. It's not WrestleMania on the NES. It's not No Mercy on the N64. It's just a gunshot away from those fine retro games on Project 64. Retextured, remodeled, right on your home PC. Climb aboard, but watch your step. It's the all-new WWF Legends Challenge 64.
All right, fans, ready to kick things off with you here tonight. The AWA, the most exciting brand of professional wrestling you'll find anywhere in the world. And we take a look at this young man who has really been making his mark here in the AWA, Curt Hennig. 1 week ago, we watched as he captured by upset victory the America's Heavyweight Championship here in the AWA. After dethroning Larry Zbyszko, it was an absolute shocker. I don't think any of us were expecting it. But as you can see, Curt Hennig very comfortable with that America's title around his waist. Tonight's match was booked before winning that championship. Therefore, the title will not be on the line here tonight. This crowd definitely behind Curt Hennig, the son of the one and only Larry the Axe Hennig, another mainstay here in the annals of AWA wrestling, proving that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Fans, we are gearing up for what will be known as Super Sunday, just over 2 weeks away. Titles will be on the line, and here we go with Bam Bam Terry Gordy representing the fabulous Freebirds. I'll tell you what, Curt Hennig, last time out, we thought he gave up a lot in experience, but this time he's going to be giving up some experience, but also a ton of size and strength advantage to Bam Bam Terry Gordy. Whether or not that's something he'll be able to overcome, we'll have to wait and see. Terry Gordy alleges to be the biggest and baddest man on Bad Street, USA, and I'm not going to be one to argue with him. These two men ready to square off now, and now what's going on? Oh, take a look at this. Nick Bockwinkel is here. And Curt Hennig doesn't seem to be too happy about it. Now, why would Nick Bockwinkel be out here? He's got a tag team match later on tonight. Well, I'll tell you what. I think he's here to do nothing more than get in the head of this young man, Curt Hennig. Of course, Bockwinkel has attempted to regain the AWA World Heavyweight Championship from Rick Martel and has been unable to do so. Perhaps he is looking at an opportunity at the America's Championship with Curt Hennig. That would definitely give him a bit of a stepping stone in the right direction to getting back on the main title page. Hennig, nice move right there. What an arm drag on Big Bam Bam Terry Gordy, near 300-pounder. Hennig giving up some 60 pounds is my best estimation. Clothesline, Gordy all the way out to the floor. Nick Bockwinkel just sitting on air, it appears. Not sure what happened to the chair he was sitting on momentarily, but I suppose that's very good exercise for the lower back. And now the action spills out right on top of Bockwinkel practically, who is unfazed. He wanted to get a close-up view of the action. I don't think you're going to get much closer. Look at this. Oh, good Lord. Bam Bam Terry Gordy just drove Curt Hennig into the steps. And now both men will beat the count back into the ring just in the nick of time. There's the Irish whip to the ropes. And it's reversed. And now look at this. Nick Bockwinkel grabbing the ankle and from behind Gordy with that forearm shot to the back of the head, and now Curt Hennig is out. Now Bockwinkel perhaps has done what he came here to do tonight, and I don't know that we've heard the end of this one. Curt Hennig not going to be happy. Win, lose, or draw this match, he is not going to be happy with what just took place. And now Gordy with a clothesline, returning the favor. Hennig crashing down here on the concrete floor at the Showboat. And now Hennig coming back with a couple of elbows. Gordy sends him into the guardrail. Back first drives him in. What a drop kick right there by the champion. Well, say what you will about the fact that he is giving up size, strength, and even experience to Terry Gordy. He is fighting like a champion here tonight. Curt Hennig essentially taking on two men in this match. Tremendous backbreaker, and Bam Bam Terry Gordy feeling the effects of that one. Hennig helps him to his feet now, walking and where to the opposite corner, it appears. Snap bears him over. Oh, drop kick to the back of the shoulders. Another nice snap bear, and now Hennig going to work on the neck of Bam Bam Terry Gordy. We have seen him use that axe attack handed down by his father. Won him the championship. Now there it is right there. Will it be enough to keep Gordy down? This will be a major victory for Curt Hennig if he pulls this one off. The referee is there for two, and Curt Hennig victorious. What an unbelievable matchup, overcoming all the odds. And right now, Nick Bockwinkel, he may have thought he'd done enough damage, but I think he may have only drawn the ire of this man. Young Curt Hennig ready to come out, and he was hunting for bear, no doubt about it. Curt Hennig overcomes the odds and pulls off a major victory here at the Showboat. Fans, stick around. Plenty more still to come here at AWA Wrestling.
God, and the match has begun. Oh, God! Oh, my God.
Looking for some game banging action?
Holy hell. Wait, Sam is gone! I heard that you can catch chairs. We should try this. Got it. Whoa! That's fucking awesome. Wow. First one that often loses. Oh, shit.
Not just playing games, but breaking games.
Oh, no! So, James did a finisher on the top to me and threw me off to the left side of the screen and put me in the crowd. And everyone around me thought that was hilarious. And shouts out to the 2K team member that said, wow, I should have known that New Legacy was going to mess this up. Oh!
You know the old saying, and if it isn't broke, don't fix it? Yeah, neither do these guys.
Jesus is eliminated.
Jesus and Santa not having a good night.
No!
From the guys who never met a game they couldn't break, check out New Legacy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and take a look at this. Jesse the Body Ventura heading towards the ring. Well, here's a guy who's always in a bad mood as far as I'm concerned. Be very curious to see what's on the mind of Jesse the Body.
First off, let me tell you something right now. Being here in Las Vegas, it's kind of like my kind of town because the Body, he's all about a little bit of Sin City, if you know what I mean. But let me tell you what is really bothering me right now. You see, I'm so good at what I do that nobody wants to get in the ring with me. I can't find an opponent, and you know why? Because everybody knows they can't measure up to the Body. So here's what I'm going to do out of the kindness of my heart here tonight for all of you. Since you paid your hard-earned money to come here, and you've come to see the best of the best, and you can't do that if Jesse the Body's not part of it. I left an open contract in the back. Anybody who wants to sign the dotted line can come out here tonight and go one-on-one with the Body. Now, in my opinion, nobody's going to sign that contract. Because I don't care if it's Rick Martel, I don't care if it's Greg Gagne, I don't care if it's Sergeant Slaughter. As far as I'm concerned, they're all just ducking me. Not one of them wants to step toe-to-toe and nose-to-nose with the Body, and that's because they all know one thing. They can't beat me. There's an open contract. Somebody step up and try to prove me wrong. Like everyone else, all you'll do is fail.
Well, Jesse the Body with an open contract. I'm sure somebody in the back is going to take him up on that. He better hope. Now we'll see momentarily.
It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda. Get your favorite candy. And get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts, you give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies. Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blazed Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but long through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you.
Attention wrestling fans, if you're having a great time here on the Nation Network, then we encourage you to go visit Dre 41 right after this program. Dre 41 with some of the greatest hockey action you've ever seen, featuring games from Japan that you won't see in the United States. Whether it's professional wrestling, boxing, or just an overall good time, get spicy with Dre 41. All right, wrestling fans, we are back and ready for more action, and here comes Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge making his way down the aisle, and this crowd on its feet for Sergeant Slaughter. Well, the drill sergeant has really taken this crowd by storm since coming here to the AWA. Slaughter's going to have a heck of a challenge here tonight, no doubt about it. Going up against a man known as the Spoiler. Quite the reputation throughout the wrestling world. This Spoiler is one heck of an in-ring competitor, and this should be a tremendous matchup between these two men. Tremendously talented individual, the spoiler. Of course, Sergeant Slaughter's resume is well known throughout the wrestling ranks. This is going to be a tremendous matchup right here, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt. Sergeant Slaughter, of course, relying greatly on that Cobra clutch. And when it comes to the spoiler, he likes to use a variation of the claw. Slaughter hesitated momentarily, and that gave a big opening for the spoiler, who comes up with an inverted atomic knee drop, and Sarge is down. Dropping that elbow right into the lower back, and now Sarge continues the battle here on the floor ringside. Well, I'll tell you what, didn't take long for this one to heat up. And now the spoiler, what's he going to do here? Going for a pile driver, it looked like. Oh my goodness, just threw Sergeant Slaughter across the concrete floor. I've got to tell you, I'm amazed so much of the action in this one is taking place on the floor. I would have thought Slaughter just drops him head first. Well, they are treating this as if it were a boot camp match. It is not. But my goodness, Sergeant Slaughter really doing the damage here tonight. Slaughter going to work on the spoiler. What's happening here? There's a distraction momentarily, and now the spoiler going to try and take advantage of that. And now the spoiler thinks he's got Sergeant Slaughter in position. Let's see. There's that claw hold. No, it's a... Instead, he had grabbed him by the throat, and now Slaughter. Oh, both of these men going back and forth. Spoiler has Slaughter down in the middle of the ring, only able to get a 1 count. Continuing to attack the leg of Sergeant Slaughter. And now, Slaughter continues to come back. It is hard to keep this man down. And one thing about Sergeant Slaughter, he is a tough drill sergeant, but he's not always been on the fan-friendly side of things here in the world of professional wrestling. And now look at this. Spoiler has him in an abdominal stretch, and he is really pulling back on that. A lot of torque. And Slaughter able to survive that move. That would have put a lot of men down. They would have had to submit, but Slaughter able to handle it. Underneath the clothesline right there by Sergeant Slaughter. And the spoiler now, not so sure of where he's at. Slaughter going to go for the Cobra clutch. But he was able to grab the ropes. Oh boy, I'll tell you what. Spoiler is very fortunate he was where he was and that he was able to make contact with the ropes. Otherwise, this match would have been over. As Sarge puts him up on the top turnbuckle now. Let's see what he's got in mind. Slaughter all the way up to the top. Superplex. Look out. That's got to be it. I don't think the spoiler's going to get up from this one. There's 1, 2, and it's all over. Big win for Sergeant Slaughter. Take a look at the action here, ladies and gentlemen. as Slaughter gets covered, and there's the 1, the 2, and the 3. That canning clothesline of Sergeant Slaughter has put a lot of people down in the past. Questions to be answered. Who was trying to distract Sergeant Slaughter during this match? He doesn't look happy at all. We'll be back with more AWA Wrestling in just a moment. Actually watched a little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man. I would say, like, for me, like the best ones, I would say are like the ones where they try to get a certain like time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody.
How does it make you feel sitting here knowing that you're a what if? I feel like I know Brian Pillman Jr. pretty well. Like we go way back, right?
Yeah, he was a good kid.
I don't feel like I know Lexus King at all. Macy, this is the most unique path I think that someone's taken after leaving WWE, because for most people it's like immediately onto the indies.
Like I say, the difference between wrestling and pro sports is it doesn't matter about how talented you are.
What was that final episode of ECW like?
I didn't think it was going to be over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you don't wrestle again, you're going to go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in wrestling history. Because you've got people like John Cena and Triple H and Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels saying you're the next great thing.
You know, I did WWE for 7 years, and it was never my passion. I never, you know, that was never a secret.
It matters about whoever's writing the script, how they perceive you.
But I wouldn't sound a what if. I'm a what can and what will be. My story's not over.
Also, you know, and I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid going. I believed in the product, and I believed in Paul, and I believed in everybody in the locker room.
Yeah.
So if that's drinking the Kool-Aid, then I was.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And we're going to find out if anybody wants to take on the challenge of Jesse the Body Ventura. We heard from this man a little while ago, earlier tonight. Feels that there's nobody that can beat him here in the AWA. I'm not so sure I would agree with that, but left an open contract in the meantime, and I have not heard anything officially yet as if whether or not someone is going to step up and accept the challenge. We'll all find out together here momentarily who, if anybody, wants to step inside the squared circle here at the Showboat with Jesse the Body Ventura. Everybody looking back toward the curtain to see if anyone's going to be coming. Hold on just a moment. Are you kidding me? It's the incredible Hulk Hogan. one of the featured stars in Rocky 3, coming down the aisle to get into the ring with Jesse the Body Ventura. Be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. The incredible Hulk Hogan is here. Oh, the roof's gonna come off of this place tonight, I can tell you that right now, ladies and gentlemen. Get a look at the face of Hogan. He is absolutely ready for Jesse the Body here tonight. Bell sounds, action's underway, and Hogan straight away taking Jesse down and unloading on the Body. Oh, Jesse doesn't look too good. Early on, he is on the receiving end of a lot of punishment, and Hogan, big uppercut, and down goes Jesse. Well, Ventura did a lot of talking earlier on. There's that big boot to the head. Hogan continues to batter Ventura here in the middle of the ring. And now to the eyes and the body, getting a taste of his own medicine here. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front, knee right to the midsection. And look at Hogan, shakes it off. No effect whatsoever, went for the scoop slam, and Jesse comes out the back door. He is now fighting for his very life here tonight. Spinning toe hold, and Hogan having those ligaments pulled and torn away. Oh, and now Jesse starting to really celebrate just a little bit too early, I think. The tide has turned, however, as Jesse the Body Ventura. What is he doing? Ventura removing that turnbuckle pad. Irish whip. Hogan hits the turnbuckle and goes down. Big right hand now by Hogan, and an elbow. Ventura draped over the middle rope, and now Hogan to the ropes, back out front, comes crashing down. Off the ropes, drops the big leg. That might be all she wrote. Ventura's out. Referee's in position. There's 1, 2, and welcome to the AWA, the incredible Hulk Hogan. What a display. Oh, fans, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a look back at some of the action here. Hogan with that big boot right to the face. There's that leg drop right across the throat. And Ventura has now learned that there are people in the AWA that can put him down. What a victory, what a debut here on the AWA for the incredible Hulk Hogan.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the Nation Network. While you're at it, why don't you check out our sister channel, All Night Gaming. A little bit of everything from old school to new school. Once the final bell rings, jump over to All Night Gaming and join us where the fun never ends. Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you.
All right, fans, we are back with Tag Team Wrestling, and this ought to be a tremendous matchup. As we take a look at members of the Heenan family, Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens. We saw Nick Bockwinkel earlier on this evening getting somewhat involved, you might say, in a match with Kurt Hennig. Almost makes you wonder if perhaps Mr. Hennig might show up here tonight and look to reciprocate. Could hardly blame him if he did. And here come the High Flyers, Greg Gagne, and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. They have a date with Destiny, no doubt about that, on Super Sunday. They will be going up against the Road Warriors for the AWA Tag Team Championship. That promises to be a memorable match, no doubt about it. Bell sounds, and here we go, and Gagne comes right out with a flying head scissor and takes Nick Bockwinkel down. There's press, and he follows up with some right hands. A lot of bad blood between these two men right now. Bockwinkel took that AWA championship away from Greg Gagne's father, Vern Gagne, at one point in time. Roundhouse right is blocked nicely by Bockwinkel. Oh, what? Bockwinkel, what in the world is he doing? Referee admonishing him, but not nearly enough. Fans, I apologize. We know that Bockwinkel will stoop to certain levels, but even I wouldn't have imagined that. Ray the Crippler Stevens now the legal man in the ring, but how exactly do you expect Greg Gagne to compete after something like that? And now Gagne comes up with a flying head scissor, needs to make the tag to Jim Brunzell. And finally, he makes his way back to the corner and an opportunity to perhaps recuperate a little bit. Jim Brunzell has got the most devastating drop kick in the world of professional wrestling, and if he hits you with it, you're not getting up. Of course, as far as Ray the Crippler Stevens is concerned, he believes, and I wouldn't argue, he's got the most lethal maneuver in professional wrestling in the pile driver. Nobody does it quite the same as Ray the Crippler Stevens. Cross knee backbreaker, nicely done. And now Brunzell handing out some punishment, but walks right into the big boot, and now Stevens tried to take advantage, but couldn't get it done, and now Brunzell back in control, at least for the moment. Brunzell fighting his way out of enemy territory, now back to the middle of the ring. and drops Ray Stevens down across that top rope. Bockwinkel reaching out, makes the tag, and now is the legal man in the ring. Shoulder tackle. And Brunzell down. Drop kick nicely done. May not agree with the tactics of Nick Bockwinkel, but I cannot take anything away from his in-ring ability. You don't become the AWA World Heavyweight Champion by accident. Still to come, ladies and gentlemen, the AWA World Heavyweight Champion will be in action. Rick Martel. There's a big uppercut right there by Jim Brunzell, dropping Nick Bockwinkel. Oh, Bockwinkel head first, down he goes. And now here comes the official, thinks he might have it. There's one. Nope, he'll kick out before the count of two. Bockwinkel slowly back to his feet, and now Brunzell has him up. Across the shoulders, Stevens comes into the ring, distracting the referee. Brunzell hooks the leg, and now Stevens is in there as well. Gagne got him. Oh, we've got chaos now. All four men in the ring. Oh, there's a pile driver, and Greg Gagne is out. And now Brunzell with a Fez press and unleashes, and Bockwinkel is bleeding. He has been split open, and Bockwinkel spilling blood right now. Oh, this match has broken down. Referees having a very hard time maintaining any semblance of control on this one. Bockwinkel continues. Despite the obvious injury, referee trying to get in there and perhaps to take a look at it, see how much damage has been done, whether or not he needs to perhaps stop the match. Raking the eyes now of Brunzell across the top rope. Brunzell has no idea where he is. Bobby Heenan at ringside seems to be very happy with the way things are going. He throws a steel chair into the ring. Heenan just threw a steel chair right into the ring. Referee either hasn't seen it or has elected not to do anything about it. Brunzell back up. And here comes the sleeper hold. Bockwinkel has put a lot of people out with this one. Brunzell will not be one of them, at least not as of yet. Well, the High Flyers have had a tough go of it in this match because this is not their style. They like to wrestle. They will get some high-flying action in there, given half a chance. But this has been a down and dirty brawl from the very opening moments. Oh, speaking of which, the referee behind Bockwinkel never even saw what he just did, but we certainly did. Desperation tag is made, and now Gagne going to have to fight by himself. I'll tell you right now, Nick Bockwinkel is an embarrassment to the profession. The idea that you have to stoop to that level to try and gain a victory. It's no wonder he's the former AWA World Champion. Back body drop over the top rope. Referee may disqualify Ray Stevens. Flying head scissor, nicely done. Takes him down. Once again. And now Gagne here on the floor going to work on Ray Stevens. You see that blood-covered face of Nick Bockwinkel at ringside as Stevens gets dropped on his head. And now Gagne goes for the cover, but Bobby the Brain Heenan distracting the referee. Gagne waiting. Oh, there's a sleeper hold of his own. The Gagne sleeper is famous throughout the AWA. Stevens struggling, trying to make it out of here. He did not give up. And now Ray the Crippler could not hold Greg Gagne. And that sleeper hold, it might not have put him out, but it has to have left him very weak. It slows the blood supply to the brain, and when it comes to these two guys, I'm not so sure that the blood gets there on a regular basis as it is. Northern Light suplex, nicely executed right there by Greg Gagne. When you talk about Greg Gagne, you're talking about somebody who has a very well-diverse amateur wrestling background. He can wrestle you. He doesn't have to stoop to the tactics that we have seen coming from Nick Bockwinkel. And now Ray Stevens just removing the turnbuckle pad. We saw that happen earlier tonight. Bockwinkel sizing him up and now going to go for a Boston Crab, but way too close to the ropes. Greg Gagne in trouble. Oh, this could be it. The pile driver. He hit. Ray Stevens may have just ended the match with that one. Greg Gagne not moving. Referee's there for the count. And he kicked out. Greg Gagne managing to kick out of the pile driver. That's something I never thought I would hear myself say. Stevens makes the tag, and now Nick Bockwinkel will step back inside the squared circle. Irish whip is reversed. Nicely done. Gagne is not finished yet, not by a long shot. Needs to make the tag, however. Greg Gagne dropping him hard on the top of his head, right in the middle of the ring. And now, once again, all four men. And he got the win. Jumping Jim Brunzell able to get around the body count and intercept Ray the Crippler Stevens as he tried to break up the pin attempt. Referee stayed on his mark. As we take a look back at some of the action here. Oh, the blood-soaked face of Nick Bockwinkel after that one. What a victory for the High Flyers. And if you're the Road Warriors, you had to be watching this match. What's going to happen on Super Sunday? We're all going to find out together. Stay with us when we come back, the AWA World Champion.
So my entire life, I knew that I always wanted to be able to give back and help others, especially financially, because that's something that I never really had. And around the same time that I found Camper, I got my first big YouTube paycheck of $7,000. So I decided at that point I would start Camper Cares, a charity project inspired by Camper to help animals, families, and fosters. And so Camper Cares was born, and every month since we have been donating a part of our ad revenue to animals, families, and fosters in need. Today, we are at Underdog Rescue in Moab. Underdog services the Four Corners area in Navajo Nation. It is a really special area that needs constant help and attention. Recently, the median household income here is $20,000. Unemployment rate is near 50%, and around 1/3 of the homes don't even have running water or electricity. Not only that, there are stray dogs everywhere. Just in Navajo Nation, there are 250,000 stray dogs. And in the Four Corners area, around 500,000 stray animals. The worst part is the life expectancy of a res dog is only 2 years old due to the lack of food and water, the harsh elements, predators, and life-threatening injuries. So I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, especially because there are 4 other shelters in this region, but they are high kill shelters, and 93% of those animals in there are killed. Not to mention, there are only 2 vets serving the entire Navajo Nation. This area needs our help. I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, who are doing such amazing and important work. They really, truly deserve it all. And thank you so much to all of you for making this possible and for making my dreams come true. And just by watching, making a dent in this big problem.
All right, well, Camper got a hold of my credit card last night. You want to show him what we got him? We got you guys. I'm so excited. 1,000 pounds of dog food. Except one catch. You guys got to help me out. 1,000 pounds of dog food will last this rescue about 1 month. So let's just say we need a lot more. So if you want to help, I'm going to put some information in the description with an address where you can send it or a link where you can just get it on Amazon. But at least we got a month down. All loaded up.
All right, wrestling fans, it is time for our main event of the evening. The title is not on the line as we take a look at the man who 1 week ago was wearing a championship of his own. The self-professed living legend, Larry Zbyszko, as he heads down the aisle towards the ring. We'll see if he is able to withstand the measuring stick here in the AWA of Rick Martel, the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. As we take a look at the AWA World Champion, Rick Martel. Since beating Nick Bockwinkel for that championship, he has been on one heck of a roll right now. And on Super Sunday, we still don't know exactly who will be challenging him for that championship title. One thing we do know is next week we will find out. Of course, all of the top names are in contention, including Larry Zbyszko. If he were to pull out a win here tonight, you might believe that that would catapult him into that title picture. Referee calls for the bell. Action's underway, and here we go. Champion sending Zbyszko into the turnbuckle. Nice fireman carry, well executed by Zbyszko. Talk about your amateur backgrounds. Both of these men very qualified in amateur wrestling and have turned it to professional. There you go. That's Larry Zbyszko at his best, going to the eyes. Follows it up with an atomic knee drop, and the champion is down. Goes for a cover, 1 count, and Martel easily out the back door. When you have a champion schedule, you are in the ring week in and week out like Rick Martel is. Those miles start to catch up with your body, and Larry Zbyszko, again, he was also a champion up until a week ago. Back body drop, and Martel over the top into the floor, and again, the referee using discretion in this match. Rick Martel using that jiu-jitsu style maneuver right there to grab the arm of Larry Zbyszko and fling him down onto that concrete surface. There is no give here on the concrete floor, I can tell you right now. Martel sends him into the steel guardrail. Head first, and now Larry Legend. Instead of Larry Land, he might be in La La Land. Zbyszko now with an inverted atomic knee drop on the champion. Sends Martel back into the ring. And now thinks he might have him, rolls him over in the middle of the ring, but does not hook the leg. Referee counts 1, and Martel easily kicks out before the count of 2. I'm not sure if hooking the leg would have gotten him the win at that point or not, but it would have definitely given him a better opportunity to get the victory. Zbyszko once again going to the eyes, and now acknowledging the fans who definitely do not seem to care much for Larry Zbyszko nor his tactics here tonight. Martel driven into the turnbuckle before being thrown back down in the middle of the ring. There's a neck breaker. And now the champion is in trouble. Zbyszko sets him up. Goes for the pile driver. That might be all she wrote right there for Martel. Zbyszko covers this time he does hook the leg. Larry Zbyszko may have just punched his ticket to the big dance. We could be looking at the Super Sunday main event as Zbyszko just defeated the AWA heavyweight champion here at the Showboat Sports Pavilion in Las Vegas. And he's not done. Zbyszko continues the attack. Fans, we are out of time. We've got to go. We'll see you next week for more AWA.